Yes, he's brash, he's confident, but most importantly, it's because he can fight.
The real question in this fight is, can Conor McGregor back up all the talk?
He says, I own this game. Tonight will be just more validation. Out of Dublin, Ireland.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Bruceleerob banger. Today, we take a step back in time to 2014, to the moment Conor McGregor truly announced himself to the world with a spectacular win over Dustin the Diamond Poirier. But we're not just reminiscing, guys. We're diving into the virtual octagon to dissect the Notorious One's alter ego in the game, pinpointing how to leverage his strengths and mitigate his weaknesses in competitive play. So lace up your gloves and let's get started. First up, strengths. Conor's virtual counterpart is a striking symphony. His left hand, devastating. His movement, fluid. In competitive play, you want to utilize his precision strikes to dismantle opponents from a distance. Remember, it's about timing and accuracy. Conor's top three strengths, in my opinion, are going to be his precision striking, his footwork, and his counter-attack ability. If you are able to master these three and use them in combination, you will become a dangerous Conor player in no time. All right, so here are Conor McGregor's perks. He has laser focus. Straight Superman and spinning punches are faster and more accurate. Fast hands. Hooks, uppercuts, and overhands are faster and more accurate. Frontal assault. Front and side kicks are faster and more accurate. And last but not least, Taekwondo. Spin kicks are faster and more accurate. All of these perks literally synergize with Conor's attributes. As you can see here, 98 punch speed, 97 punch power, 99 accuracy, 92 blocking, still pretty good. You got 96 head movement and 97 footwork. That is incredible. And then you got 87 switch stance. Okay, watch your legs if you're getting attacked. Make sure you check them. 90 takedown defense, that's serviceable. And then he has some good kick power and some great kick speed. And now getting into Conor McGregor's health, you know, he's at a 97 with that chin stat. So he's going to be able to get into the pocket. And you do want to distance fight with Conor. You do want to be accurate, but sometimes you can rely on that chin stat. You could walk forward and you get into these trading situations where you're standing your ground, daring your opponent to throw, because with that power and with that chin stat, he's really able to exchange inside that pocket and do really well. And also, look, his body is 94, his legs are 94, so he could take body damage, leg damage. He's like a tank out there that could dish out some heavy artillery with those bombs that he possesses, with that power he possesses. So very, very dangerous, sort of like a marauding berserker, you know, Chuck Liddell, old school style. But watch out, the cut resistance, you still need to keep those hands up. He's a little bit susceptible to taking damage. So when those wrestlers are trying to throw you on the ground, put you in the side control position, watch those elbows and also watch those standing elbows, those left hooks. They could be problematic. And of course, his biggest weakness as far as his health stats is going to be that cardio. Now, at 90, he's better than a few guys that are at 88, 89, but majority of the featherweights that you're going to go against, like the Volkanovskis of the world, the Max Holloways of the world, those guys are going to give you a lot of issues if you blow out your stamina, if you're not accurate, you're not precise, and you're allowing them to sway and to move and groove and make you miss, because in those later rounds, you're going to have a very hard time with Conor McGregor if you're not economical with his gas tank. So just be careful of that. And getting into Conor's top moves, remember earlier when we talked about his perks, laser focus, and fast hands? So his Celtic cross is a 5-star. That southpaw stance left shot, we've all seen it. We've all witnessed the greatness of Conor McGregor's left hand. And in the game, that is true as well. So devastating. With the hooks and the uppercuts being 4-star moves, you could really combo the hooks and the straights, the uppercuts and the straights, aka the Celtic cross, together in combination to destroy your opponents. Just remember, land accurately and throw with purpose. And also that front body kick, L2 R1 and circle. It's a great way to attack your opponent, push them back, get some range. If someone is pressuring you, being able to stab at that gut. Conor is so good at that. 4 stars, and those start adding up as well on the body. You'll see it reddening up. It'll frustrate your opponent, and it is such a great tool. So do not forget that front stabbing kick. That is money for Conor McGregor. All right, it is that time to get into Conor McGregor's weaknesses. I know Conor McGregor's got some weaknesses, and here we go. Grappling is his biggest weakness. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Not the best. Let's start out at the top. Okay, so his ability to take down his opponent is only an 86. 2.5 stars. So don't go out there trying to spam takedowns. Of course, if you find a way and you hit your opponent with a nice overhand or a nice hook, you stun them, and then you get a free takedown. Of course, if their stamina is low and you can go for that takedown, Conor will get a takedown, but he's not going to do any power slams. So just make sure you remember that. And also, when he is on top, his top control is only going to be an 89, 3 stars. So he's not going to be able to hold people down as well as some of the other wrestlers like Alex Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria. It's gonna be tough. So watch out for that. Bottom control as well is an 89. So just when your opponent takes you down, when your opponent is on top, you gotta be very mindful that you do not have the stats to make any mistakes, because they will make you pay. And when you're trying to lock in a submission with Conor McGregor, maybe decide against it, because he only has an 84 submission offensive stat. It's going to take forever to lock in these subs, and when you do lock it in, it's going to chip away barely at that submission bar, especially if you're fighting someone with good submission defense. It's not the greatest avenue to victory. Now, Conor McGregor does have some submission defense. He's got a 90 stat, so he can defend himself pretty well against submissions. It's not the best in division, but it's certainly not the worst. Just be very mindful of your stamina on the ground. Make sure it's full, because if it gets low and they lock in a submission, he doesn't have the best tools to defend himself, but pretty good at 90. Now, one silver lining about the grappling of Conor McGregor is if you do rock your opponent and you do end up on top, if you are controlling and you're being very good with your flicks and your stamina management and your denials, you can posture up and finish people off with Conor really well, because 93 striking, synergizing with his punch power, is actually pretty devastating. So Conor can ground and pound very well in this game. And as far as his clinch striking goes, you see 88. He's not going to throw the most powerful shots in the clinch, so try to stay out of the clinch as best as you can. But he does have a pretty good clinch control. We saw that in some of his fights against Dustin Poirier. He does have a pretty good clinch, so you know he's not super weak there. But I would advise trying to stay out of the clinch and just trying to stay at range and trying to use those hands to create distance. And when someone's trying to clinch you, just throw, push, just use your tools to keep them off of you if you can, because as well as, you know, the clinch not being strong, they can also take you down from those clinch positions, and he really does not have the best takedown defense. So what you're going to need to focus on, in my opinion, to be a successful Conor McGregor player, is you're going to want to focus on learning all the takedown defenses, because people are going to try to grab you, and if their takedown stat is very high, they could turn the takedown up, they could turn the takedown down, they could try to power slam you forward, pick you up, and drop you on your head. You really need to leave no stone unturned as far as grasping all the information, all the knowledge as far as denying takedowns. So L2, R2, that left stick up and down is how you defend those up and down takedowns. But there's a lot of videos out there that will help you with these takedowns and takedown defenses, and I would highly recommend you learn all of them, because with Conor McGregor, you want to stay on your feet. And also, people are going to grab you in the clinch. They're going to put you on the cage. They're going to take your back, and they're either going to jump on your back and try to get that choke, that rear naked choke, drag you to the ground, or they're going to try to turning takedown Conor McGregor and put him on the mat early, because they do not want to deal with the explosive striking of Conor McGregor early. So watch out for those turning takedowns off the cage. Learn how to defend those. They're a little bit difficult, but once you learn the animations and you're able to turn with L2, R2 and down or up on that left stick, you'll have such a better time with Conor McGregor, because if you don't go to the ground, then you don't have to deal with guys like Charles Oliveira, Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria trying to submit you, because if they do land a submission, they lock it in. Conor, remember, doesn't have the best stamina, so they're going to have stamina advantages when they're on the ground, and if they do, it's going to be a long night. And make sure you're very careful when you do land a shot on your opponent, or if you get a nice sweep and you end up on top and you posture up with Conor McGregor. If you start unloading shots from the top and unloading all of your stamina, and if they get a nice flick from the bottom position and swivel one of your straights, grab one of your hooks, they can reverse you. They'll be on top, they'll have a stamina advantage, and then they can lock in the submissions on Conor McGregor, who is not that great at defending against them. So just be careful out there, because these grapplers are going to want to put you on your butt. And if you could stay on your feet, you could stay at that nice distance while actually pressuring your opponent a little bit too, you can really be successful with Conor McGregor in EA Sports UFC 5.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. You deserve 60 G's. And now I'm going to give you a little bonus. We're going to go over some of Conor McGregor's advanced kicking techniques. Now we got the rolling thunder here, L1, circle, and triangle. Only a 1-star, but you can catch your opponents lacking if they don't expect this. Also, we got that oblique kick, L2, L1, and circle. And this move's really good to stab at that leg and just continually add up that damage to anyone that's, right in your face. And then we got the lead hook kick, L1, R1, and X. And this move is pretty cool. You could surprise guys with it. You could also combo that lead side kick after the fact. And then the L1, R1, X, the hand plant roundhouse. One of my favorite moves to utilize with Conor McGregor. You've seen him throw it in his early days, and it can be devastating if your opponent's not ready and they don't have their block up. And of course, some kicks I really like to utilize: the jumping switch kick, R1 and X, and then the lead jumping switch kick, R1 and circle. And I love to use these when my opponent is hurt, they're damaged, they're against the cage, and they're running left or right, and I hit them as they move. And of course, the spinning techniques, all 2-stars, but he does have them, the spinning back fist. And my favorite move, the lead 360 tornado kick, which is a guard break. This is fantastic. Look at that. It could really, really do some damage if you land it clean. Just be careful with that max vulnerability if they duck it. And of course, the spinning elbow is there as well if you need it. So you hold X and circle, and then followed by the X to do the spinning heel kick. Very good, more powerful than the planted roundhouse kick. That's going to be the end of our deep dive of the Notorious one, Conor McGregor, as he celebrates there with his signature noodle arms. Gotta love it. And I hope you guys learned a little bit, and I hope you guys get out there with Conor McGregor. He's such a strong pick, and remember, he's good on his back foot. He's really good when you're pressuring your opponent, and make sure you focus on those strengths and you patch up and focus on those weaknesses that we mentioned. When you're out there against grapplers, it's going to be a challenge, but if you keep the fight standing and you're precise and you manage your gas tank well, Conor McGregor, in my opinion, is one of the strongest picks in the featherweight division in the entire roster. One of my personal favorite picks. I love to walk people down, land vicious combinations, and get the win. So I hope you guys go out there and do the same, and make sure you tell me in the comments how you're doing with this Conor McGregor pick in featherweight. And if you'd like me to do another deep dive, tell me who would you like to dissect next and learn the strengths and the weaknesses in the future. This is Bruceleerob, and this was another banger. See you next time.